The Sims franchise turns 25 this year, which means I've been playing this game for most of my life. I literally started playing when the first game came out, and I haven't really stopped since. I mean, I can still remember the first house that I built or attempted to build. It was kind of a disaster, though in my defense, I was 10 at the time. But after 25 years, I think it's time to take this relationship to the next level. So I've decided to join YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no expectations of becoming some famous Sims YouTuber. If anyone finds my videos, I'll be pretty much happy. My objective is really just to show off my builds, connect with some people, and just be part of the community. Because let's be honest, that's one of the best aspects of this game. It's the Sims community. I mean, CC creators have been around since the first game. I myself delved a little bit into CC in The Sims 2, and I kind of miss being a part of the community and interacting with people. So here we are. And for my first video, I thought of doing a little silly video. So I challenged myself to build a house shaped like the Portuguese flag, because that's where I'm from, Portugal. So I started off trying to figure out the shape of the build and also how to divide this up into three colors of the flag. I end up using a grass roof for the green side, a circular platform in yellow for the center, and then on the red side I do end up using a actual roof piece. Initially, I was thinking of making this into a starter home, so you'll see me shrink down the size of the house because at the time I was just trying to save as much money as possible. That idea is later abandoned very clearly, as was my initial idea that I cut out of the footage, which was trying to make this into the shape of a flag waving in the wind. I tried to use diagonal walls, I tried to use round walls. It was a mess and it really didn't work, so I abandoned that and went with a straightforward rectangle and just tried to figure out a way to make it into an interesting build. You see me placing furniture all around, just trying to figure out where everything is going to go and if I have enough space for all the essentials. Then I'm picking out the color scheme for the exterior. I use this red concrete block look for the red side of the house, and then I do pick a white wood paneling that I did switch at the end of the build off camera. Just at this stage, I wasn't feeling confident that it didn't look ridiculous to have the two colors of the flag, but in the end, I fully commit. It is a Portuguese shaped and color house. Really, no escaping that. You might also notice that there's sort of a glitch with the eco lifestyle windows, just like that one tile one. For some reason, it just kept creating this weird shadow of the frame from the outside. But it came and went, so I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, so I still used them. Then I'm placing all kinds of furniture around, just really trying to come up with the vision for the house. And around this part where I start laying out pretty much anything and everything from Eco Lifestyle is where I abandoned the starter home plan. I was having way too much fun, so I just embraced it and said screw it for the budget. I put the house on some small stilts, as you can see. I just wanted to make it look like it was some sort of container or some other structure that had been repurposed to be a house. I put this pergola outside, lots of planters. I started putting in a pool, so you know the budget was definitely gone by then. I end up putting a water collector, some more solar panels on the roof. I end up putting also a windmill on the pergola. Not that I wanted to make this into an off-the-grid house, because I don't think all of this is enough, but I wanted to give the idea that these Sims try as much as possible to be eco-friendly and reduce their carbon footprint. And then as I was placing all of this and making sort of the choices for the outside, I quickly realized that this wasn't really going to work in a regular neighborhood vibe. So I do end up swapping the lot to Evergreen Harbor and actually place it on the lot that I never use, which is the one in the industrial dock just by the water. I always find this lot weird for multiple reasons, but one of the things that really bugs me is how there's no terrain paint that fits the concrete around, and also the lot itself is sort of on a diagonal compared to the concrete pavement that we see. So it's just a really weird shape and it doesn't fit really into the environment. Plus, whenever you start a new save, this part of Evergreen Harbor is just disgusting and full of trash, and with that smog, it's just too weird. But for this build, I actually felt like it matched, maybe because it's so colorful, it kind of matches the containers around. But I was sort of happy to finally actually get to use this lot. And if I ever have sort of an eco lifestyle challenge or anything, I think I will play in this house and in this lot. Or if I ever want to go to Evergreen Harbor and, you know, go on that mission to make the whole world green and make it look nice, I will probably use this house as my base. You see me using this pergola a lot to place things. This is when I had the idea of actually placing a roof, because these pergolas are just decorative, so they won't stop anything from breaking or your Sims staying out of the rain. So I elevated it above the glass roof, and then I hid the fact that it was sort of floating with some columns. I really do like how it looks. It's the first time I experimented with something like this, and I actually really like it. One, because you can't really tell that the glass roof is there, and then also because for once I'm actually using one of the pergolas, because I usually don't use them because they block the view and serve no actual function. But in this case, I made it work. Then on the interior, I'm just trying to figure out the color scheme. I really wanted to use a colorful couch because it's pretty much the only bright color source on the inside. I also picked some more colorful artwork to give some life, but you know, when the walls are down, you really don't see those. So a colorful couch for me was important to give it a little bit of a personality, but everything else is still very neutral. Which was my intention. I didn't want to make it too extreme or too polarizing. You see me going around, placing all the essentials, you know, computer, there's even a speaker, there's a bookshelf, there's an easel. And then ironically, in such a small bedroom, I struggled a lot. And this was because of the eco lifestyle bed. I really don't like this bed. I like the frame of it, but the bedding is just too much. There's too much going on there. I wanted to use it because I was using so much eco lifestyle, but I just gave up at some point and switched to a base game bed. And after that, everything started to fit into place. I do still mess around with the furniture a lot because it is a small space, but I didn't want it to feel like just a bed and that's it. So I tried to place a little bit more furniture and make it slightly more realistic, while at the same time, you know, not block anything and have your Sims actually walk around the bed. To give the bedroom a bit more personality, I put a purple accent wall, and then I just picked a nice big rug and some curtains, and that was pretty much it. Then the bathroom is pretty straightforward. It's a lot of concrete in terms of the actual elements. There's no tiles. I went with a nice shower, a nice sink, a nice toilet, just to make it a good space, even though it's a small bathroom. And I tried to decorate it a little bit so it still felt nice. And then you are seeing me just place decorations all around the house, just as some final touches and make the space feel a little bit more lived in. I switched the appliances now that I had more freedom on the budget. Unfortunately, nothing came with eco lifestyle in terms of appliances. I do think it's a missed opportunity because it would have been nice to have eco-friendly appliances, that could have looked futuristic or something like that, but then finally, I'm just making some final choices on the color scheme of the outside and some small details on the terrain paint, and that's it. So now I'm going to pop into game and actually show you the build, because I know when it's a speed build and the camera is spinning around, it's kind of hard to see. So let's get into it. So this is what the finished build looks like. If you go up at top view, obviously you have the Portuguese flag situation going on, but I really wanted to make it more than just a gimmick, something that was actually practical. So over here, this is the green energy roof, and there's also the solar panels in red so that they match. The yellow, I made it into a little platform, and then I put the telescope here also in yellow. And then the green, I turned it into a little rooftop garden with 2 lounges so that your Sims can come up and catch some sun. Over here in the backyard, I made a little barbecue area over here. There's a decent sized pool. What I'm really proud of is this pergola area. First of all, I made it functional, so I put a little glass roof so that your Sims don't get wet with the rain and nothing really breaks if it's in this space, because these pergolas are just decorative. I had to do a little magic over here with the columns and raise up the pergola because otherwise it would clip with the glass roof. But I think it looks pretty good. You have a couple of planters, you have a woodworking table, you have a bonsai over here, you have a windmill, you have a water collector. Over here to this side, we have 2 insect farms and then a little birdhouse. It's pretty simple, but I like how it looks. It really fits into the environment, which I think is kind of complicated to do with Evergreen Harbor, but in this case, I think it plays off well. Obviously, I used a lot of eco lifestyle, but it looks good. The windows give it some dimension because they all sort of stick out a bit, so it doesn't look boring. And then on the inside, it's pretty simple. We have a little hallway over here, and the bedroom in some dark tones with a little purple accent wall, and then on the living room I put the blue couch so there's a bit of color. You have a bookshelf, a TV, easel, a computer, even a speaker. Over here we have the kitchen, simple, with the good trash can that gives you some money. I just put 2 stools over here for dining, but you have the outside table, so I think that's fine. And then the bathroom, simple, all sort of in concrete industrial look to fit with the rest of the house. In my view, this is some sort of warehouse or a container in concrete, and the inside walls were added when this was turned into a house just in wood so that, you could divide it up. That's sort of my inspiration slash realistic take on it. So there you have it, my first official build up on YouTube. If you do like this build, it is up on the gallery for you to download. You just have to search my username, ThePTsimmer, just like here on YouTube, and you can do whatever you want with it. Play in it, burn it, turn it into a dungeon for the land grab. Really, it's yours to use. That's the whole point of it. If you like this video, however you stumbled upon it, I have a few more things planned out, a few more builds to show. So stay tuned to the channel in any way you like. If you feel like dropping a comment, please do. That's the whole point of this, is to interact with the community. So I hope to hear from you, and I hope someone is actually viewing this. And if you are, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.